Hey everyone, Michael here with Hello Cupcake It's Me, and today is August 3rd, 2024, and thanks for hanging out with me. If you haven't done so already, please hit like and subscribe, then head on over to hellocupcakeitsme.com to check out the blog and give it some love, and then make sure you follow me on all the different social medias. Then head on over to podcast.hellocupcakeitsme.com to check out the podcast that is updated every Thursday. And head on over to my upcoming books website, www.cdsthebook.com, that is scheduled for publication November 2024. Or 2024. Sorry. So, how is everyone doing? The last 20 something hours has been very interesting in my neck of the woods. One of the utility departments cut the main fiber optic cable that brings internet and all kinds of other services to our area. And in doing so, knocked out most of Northwest Washington. Yeah. My number one question is, what kind of lawsuits are those people going to face? Like, I want them raked over the coals, because not only did they cut out internet services, but they stopped people from being able to purchase gas. They stopped people from being able to purchase groceries. They stopped the hospital from being able to function at 100% because all of their records and stuff are digital. They disabled 911 dispatch and stuff like that. Certain cell phone carriers had no cell phone reception, had no mobile data, and yeah. So I want to know what recommendations they're going to face, because not only did they put thousands of people without communication, but they also like disrupted the 911 system and caused a bunch of businesses to lose business because they weren't able to sell gas or groceries. Like, that was a really big, scary wake up call, like how dependent we've become on technology. And just a big wake up call for myself in general, because my entire house is ran on technology. Like, I couldn't turn any of my lights on because all of my light bulbs are Wi-Fi enabled. I couldn't get out on my cell phone. Like, I could call and make text messages, but I couldn't like do anything online using my cell phone data. And that pissed me off because I pay for a data package that allows for my phone to be a Wi-Fi hotspot, and my phone didn't have Wi-Fi. My phone didn't, like, I couldn't even use my phone's data plan. So I was just like, okay, that was unique. So yeah, I was not able to do any of the work that I needed to do yesterday. I had a bunch of stuff for the book that I needed to get done, and that didn't get done. So thankfully, I figured out how to stream movies from my home network onto my television last night, and I just sat on the couch watching TV and sitting in the dark. And here in the Pacific Northwest, it gets dark really freaking early. Well, this time of year, it's starting to get darker sooner and sooner. And by September, it'll be dark by about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So, yeah, I sat here in the dark watching TV, kind of in it was a double-edged sword. I was enjoying the fact that I wasn't connected to anything, but also pissed off because I would think of something and I'm like, oh, okay, let me just pull it up on my phone. Like, we are so trained to just do this motion and pull up information or like hop on our computer. And I was trying to think of like back in the 90s before I got internet, what did I used to do? And I just remember I would still spend hours on my computer, like not, from 95 to 90, like 94, 95 to about 97, 98. I didn't have internet. And my dad didn't see the point of having internet at the time. And at the time, he only really had America Online, or AOL. And there was a lot of like little tech startup companies here and there, and there was this one that had a huge loophole in their system. So you could create a new account and get 7 days free internet. And so that's what I would do. Like every couple of on day 7 when I would try to log in and it would tell me, oh, you can't log in anymore. Your trial is expired. Pay $30 for a month or whatever. I'm like, nope. Create new account. So, but even then, that was super expensive because it was a collect call and, or a long distance call, not a collect call. But yeah, so, I would spend hours in front of my computer making websites, and I taught myself QBasic, which was like one of the original programming code languages like JavaScript or HTML or whatever. When HTML finally came out, I taught myself HTML in probably 2 months. And then I started building websites. And then what I would do is, because my parents were divorced, I would build the websites at my dad's house, save it to a floppy disk, and then take it to school in the city and then upload it using the school computer or the library computer and do all of my websites and stuff that way. But, I was just like thinking of how digitized everything has become. And yesterday I had to go in for a bunch of x-rays. And they used to give you a CD. And they're like, oh, well, we don't do CDs anymore because most of the computers nowadays don't have disk drives. And I'm like, so what? Like, still, you should still have that physical disk. Like, what if I gave you a thumb drive? Like, can you put it onto a thumb drive or something? Like, and so as I was walking through the halls of the hospital yesterday, I was thinking, like, dude, what's going to happen if the internet goes out and you can't get a hold of your records? And that's exactly what happened. The internet went out. The hospital was running at 45% and busy because they couldn't access anyone's records. All of the hard files are kept in a archive off-site. So what they were having to do is, as a new patient or as a patient came in, they would have to then call over to the archive, have the archive look for the person, and then pull up whatever information that they had prior to the digitization of that person. So it was like, yeah. Anyways, also over the last few days, I have been battling like this head cold, congestion, something or another. It was to the point where I wasn't able to even go to the pool only but once last week. And I don't know if it was me jumping into the water and getting the chlorine up in my sinuses and it causing all those issues are what, but it's been a bitch. Like I feel like I'm underwater and I feel like I'm just like all the time. But my doctor didn't seem to care about it when I told him about it yesterday. I've been taking Zicam, and I have to admit I like this Zicam a little bit better than the other one that I have. It's like a nasal swab. This Zicam is it's a little thing that you just stick up in your nose and it works. And it's a non-drip formula, so I kind of like it. It's about the same price as the nasal swabs, but with the nasal swabs, I feel like you have that you just get more because you have an entire tube, which is probably half of what that is, and you can reuse it, and or at least that's what I do. Like I'll reuse it until it's completely dry, and then once it's dry, then I'll open up another one if I need to. But I've been um, hitting it with that. I've been hitting it with my herbal tea mixtures. I got to clean my cup out today. This one was a little yuckier than I wanted it to be, but it's got butterfly pea tea in it. It's got turmeric, fermented honey, and garlic. Elderberry, or an elderberry tincture that I make, which is elderberry in I one elderberry is in vodka, the other elderberry is in white tequila, and I think this is the vodka elderberry. And then it's got sugar, even though it's got the honey and the garlic in there. It's got additional sugar in there, and cinnamon and black pepper. And it sounds horrible, but it's actually really yummy. Oh, and it's also got lemon peel in there. And I cut the lemon peel up into like really tiny little pieces and I put it in there and then pour the hot water over it and let it all kind of bloom and yum. Yeah, it sounds horrible, but it's actually really sweet and kind of earthy and woody. And each one of those herbs does something different, like the butterfly pea tea, which is an edible hibiscus plant. But it's really a really good tea. Um, what that does is it flushes the body and raises antioxidants. Turmeric does like all kinds of amazing things. The black pepper is used to activate the turmeric so that it absorbs into your system a little bit better. Plus, black pepper itself has medicinal benefits for like your heart and for respiratory functions. Um, oh, and it's also got 8 different mushroom powders in it, like lion's mane, cordyceps, and wild turkey tail mushroom, and like a whole bunch of other things in there. So, yeah, each one of those has its own specific function and does something a little bit different and helps boost your immunity. So, between my tea, my Zicam, and my tinctures, I'm doing okay-ish right now. But yeah, oh man, I calculated out how much longer I have for the book. So I've got 43 days until I need everything situated from the illustrator and the editor. And then I have exactly 30 days after that to get everything uploaded and edited and all that other stuff, because I'm uploading the book on October 15th. That's the deadline that I've placed for myself. So from September 15th to October 15th, I got to get all of the edits done and get the illustrations uploaded and have the final whatever, and then I want the book to be published by November 15th. And yeah, so I've got 43 days until the editor and the illustrator has to be done. And then about 33 days after that, for a grand total of like 72 days now. So 72 days, and the book should be published. And I am freaking out. I am still trying to figure out what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, and all that other stuff. And it's way too much. It really is. I've decided that if I don't have my 988 materials by Thursday of this week, that I am going to skip doing the all-county picnic and just focus on the fair. And I think that's probably going to be what I need to focus on the most, because the fair is like September 15th or 18th. And that gives me an additional month to not only get the 98 supplies in, but also get more games and prizes and stuff put together so that I can get all that stuff done. And I don't know if I showed you guys this on one of my other videos or not, but this is my little prize wheel. Ooh, isn't that pretty? That's so satisfying. But yeah, so this is going to be one of those prize. What I wanted this for originally was each color was going to match up to a 3x5 index card for a mental health game. And I'm still thinking about getting the mental health game put together. But, if they do, it's going to be a true, false, or whatever. And, but yeah, I wanted one of these so that I could have it on my table. It doesn't take up a lot of real estate. And I can also use it for the Witch's Walk. But this little dude was like between $10 and $12 on Amazon, and it's all metal. So yeah, I was really happy with it. The only thing that I'm not really happy with is this little thumb screw right here. Feels like it needs like a little nut here on the end, and I've been meaning to get to a hardware store to get that nut. But anyways, so yeah, I got a few things planned here and there and everywhere in between. So, over on the community tab, I put a thing on there asking questions about if you guys listen to the podcast or not. And it seems like a lot of the people who listen to the podcast don't watch the YouTube videos. And a lot of the people who watch the YouTube videos don't listen to the podcast. And so I'm trying to figure out where the disconnect is and how to like kind of commingle both of them. So if you would please put in the comment section below if you listen to the podcast or not. And I've really been thinking about stopping the podcast just because I can't seem to get good traction over there, even though I'm on season 2, episode 29 now. I don't know which one that I want to focus more on. Do I want to focus on just doing the YouTube channel, or do I want to focus on the podcast? Do I want to continue to do both and try to increase both, or what? But yeah, if you could give me some input on that, that would be great. But anyways, for now, I am going to let you go, and thank you for watching this far, and I will talk to you all later. Bye, guys.